Tonight, the member for Grey reacts to the Ukrainian president's address in Australia's parliament. And 2 COVID deaths reported in South Australia, including a child under 5.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Ruby Kamain begins now.
Good evening. Ukraine's President Vladimir Silensky has addressed the federal parliament in the midst of the conflict in his country. The member for Grey, one of the politicians who witnessed the historic moment.
A standing ovation during a historic moment in last night's sitting of federal parliament. Ukrainian President Vladimir Silensky addressing members of parliament, thanking them for their support during his country's crisis with a Russian invasion.
The bipartisan support of Australia, of Ukraine, for the support that has been provided, we're extremely grateful.
The member for Grey, one of the 150 lower house members witnessing the speech. Rowan Ramsey saying it was inspirational and he personally supports Australia's efforts to help support Ukraine in defending the invasion. Also referencing Zelensky's turn from an entertainer to wartime president.
I think he probably universally recognised the most inspirational national leader in the world at the moment. Who would have thought a comedian has become president? And I think we all raised an eyebrow when that happened, but there's a lot more to Vladimir Silensky.
Locally in the Spencer Gulf, the Cleve District Council has expressed support in housing Ukrainian refugees, saying the measure would give the refugees a new chance of life in the region while helping provide much-needed labour in the district.
Cleve Council has expressed an interest in hosting them and finding jobs and housing and new community and a place for them to live. I think is really encouraging.
Mark Zita, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Meanwhile, the Russian flag has been taken down along Port Pirie's Main Street. The council had reportedly received requests from members of the community to take down the Russian flag and replace it with the Ukrainian flag as a gesture of solidarity. The Main Street flags have traditionally represented countries which have traded with Port Pirie and are usually replaced every year so they don't get damaged. There have been 2 COVID-19 deaths in South Australia. One, a child under the age of 5 with severe health problems who was not old enough to be vaccinated, while a woman in her 80s has also died. 5,134 new cases were recorded in the state. 169 people are in hospital, with 7 in ICU. And over the border in far west New South Wales, 104 new infections were recorded to 4 p.m. yesterday, including 73 in Broken Hill, 23 in Wentworthshire and 2 in Darlingshire. Testing clinics can be found in spots such as Broken Hill, Menindee, Wilcannia and Tibooburra. More information can be found on the New South Wales Government website. A truck rolled on the Augusta Highway this morning. The driver allegedly veering off the road before course correcting and rolling the rig. Miraculously, the driver only sustained minor injuries. The truck's load of building materials spilling out over the road, with crews called in to clean up the debris. Highway travel was reduced to 1 lane, with speed restrictions leading to a backup of cars exiting Port Augusta. New data has shown housing growth in regional South Australia is continuing to stay strong, with people still on the move for a sea change. The Home Value Index also showing Adelaide as one of the strongest performers among the capitals.
It's good news for homeowners right across the Spencer Gulf. CoreLogic releasing its latest monthly Home Value Index report, with regional South Australia showing strong growth and resilience.
Each month we create valuations of all of the dwellings in Australia's market, and we track the value movements of it as if it's kind of one portfolio.
The reason? People looking for a sea change, with remote working arrangements making it possible. Both regional South Australia and metropolitan Adelaide showing strong migration patterns as a result. In addition, the state's regional areas also recording the highest cyclical high over the March quarter.
What's really interesting about the regional South Australian market is that it's still got momentum. It has hit a peak quarterly growth rate for the current cycle, up to 7.4%.
According to CoreLogic, regional South Australia is following a trend also seen in other regional areas across the country. The same report showing Sydney and Melbourne seeing values decline in the past month, Bucking the trend, Adelaide seeing the second highest growth among the smaller capital cities.
So I think the relative affordability of the city, the fact that stock levels are still pretty low, total advertised stock is about 40% lower than where we would usually see it this time of year.
Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, federal police seized the largest drug haul in the state's history. And the RAA insurance claim records reveal a spike in stolen vehicles. I'll see you after the break. Welcome back. 4 people have been arrested after allegedly attempting to import more than 400 kilograms of cocaine off the Yorke Peninsula, South Australia's largest ever drug haul. The men, aged between 29 and 44, were crew members of an international bulk shipping carrier. The Australian Federal Police says the group were due to face court in Adelaide today. If convicted, police say they could face a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. An alleged whale farming ring has been discovered in Port Lincoln, with police freeing dozens of southern right whales. It's alleged the mammals were being illegally held in ocean pens and used to supply the underground whale song market, which is reportedly worth billions of dollars. Whale song recordings can be sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars in Bali. 3 men were arrested and will face court later this month. Police conducted a major operation in Port Pirie yesterday, targeting traffic, property and drug offences. Multiple properties were searched and police arrested 2 men. 1 man was charged with 2 counts of trafficking a commercial quantity of cannabis and methamphetamine. Police handed out 26 traffic fines with 10 positive drug drivers, 34 vehicle defects, 1 instant loss of licence and 1 vehicle impounded. Meanwhile, police are investigating a break-in at Wallaroo this morning, where several valuables were stolen. Officers say entry was gained into holiday accommodation on Jetty Road just after 5 o'clock this morning. An electric trike and a mobile phone were stolen during the break-in. Anyone with information or may have CCTV in the area is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. A surge in thefts of popular models of cars have prompted the RAA to issue a warning for motorists. The motoring body says newer car immobilisers and improved security systems have made criminals more daring and go to greater lengths to steal your keys.
Crooks looking to cash in on used cars. The number of South Australian cars stolen in the past 12 months has skyrocketed according to the RAA's insurance claim records.
Everybody's starting to get back to normal, starting to head out again. We've seen a 56% increase in car theft compared to the same time last year.
Insurance data showing 4-door sedans and wagons are being stolen the most.
Traditionally, whatever sells well in the market will get stolen well in the market. Professional thieves may have a market for those parts.
It isn't just on the streets either. The RAA says crooks will often break into your house to acquire keys before stealing your car.
So the days of hanging them on the hook just inside the front door, they're over, because the thieves will just grab them and go. You need to put them in a place where it's hard for them to find.
Also saying the jump in car thefts directly corresponds with the relaxing of COVID restrictions and more people returning to work, because now those homes are empty.
During COVID, when everybody was home, these people aren't brave, they're cowards. So they're not going to go into a house where people are there. So car crime went down.
SAPOL's advice is to park cars off the street when possible and leave keys and valuables out of sight.
If you have any property stolen or your motor vehicle's been interfered with, please call the police assistance line on 131 444.
It is a changing crime. Ironically, the best way to protect your car now is actually protect your house.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
If it seems too good to be true, it probably is, as was the case for an underwater expressway between Port Lincoln and Adelaide across the Spencer Gulf. The RAA uploading a video to social media as an April Fool's hoax, outlining the plan, which would see tunnels floating underneath the water, citing a similar plan for Norway.
But what it means is you can very effectively and quite cheaply bridge a section between 2 landmasses. For example, going across Spencer Gulf or Gulf St Vincent.
The April Fool's video has been liked more than 1,000 times on social media. The next stage of Port Pirie's entrance upgrade has begun, with old bushes and trees removed along 3 Chain Road. The area will be replanted with native trees and a shared bike and footpath will be installed so pedestrians can travel easily to the beach.
Making it look good so you don't want to leave. Port Pirie's entrances are undergoing a massive transformation, seeing more footpaths and native trees planted along 3-Chain and Pelham roads. Landscapers are digging in quickly, clearing out weeds, bushes and trees, but still keeping some of the native species.
They're a bit, I guess, scrubby looking. They put out suckers, and because of the chemicals in the trees, they didn't allow other things to grow around them.
Some residents are excited to see the mess gone, but are hoping the new trees will still provide the same amount of shade.
Well, the plantation was a real eyesore. It was very messy, but it did provide a sound barrier from the traffic, and the trees did provide shade in summer.
The whole project is expected to be completed by June, with the next phase to begin soon.
Once the tree removal is completed, we'll start the groundworks for construction of a shared path along 3-Chain Road from Simpson Street through to the beach.
One of the main goals, to make it easier for people to walk and cycle across town without having to worry about the heavy traffic on 3-Chain Road.
And when you start looking, there's a few tracks that we've, cycling tracks and walking tracks that we've already got in Port Pirie, so we'll linkage those as well so that you'll be able to get around. And, you know, everyone that cycles, we want you to be as safe as possible.
Christian Comenos, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. Major street upgrades in Crystal Brook nearly complete. And a historic railway encourages community members to give steam engine work a go. I'll see you shortly. Hello again. Crystal Brook's Bowman Street is becoming a sight for sore eyes, with the streetscape upgrade almost completed. The new look is aiming to bring more visitors into Crystal Brook and hopefully draw customers into the shops.
Bringing the best to the Brook. The Port Pirie Regional Council teaming up with more than 17 businesses and property owners to improve the look of Crystal Brook while still sticking to its heritage roots.
We've replaced all the furniture with heritage-style furniture. I think there's over 150 bollards here that were replaced. All the park furniture and picnic settings are all of a heritage style.
The shop fronts along Bowman Street also getting a major facelift, with repairs, modifications and a fresh coat of paint. And business operators are already loving the new look.
It's been a huge help and so valuable to get the shopfront done, and also the community's been so positive in talking about what the council's been doing with this recent project, so it's just created a real positive vibe.
It has been quite positive, yes, and it certainly has brightened up all the buildings, and a few of them have had their roofs changed or the verandas changed, and yeah, it looks good.
I think there's a real buzz in Crystal Brook, and I think the locals feel very positive about the improvements that council and the community have been able to achieve together.
The community hoping the changes will encourage more tourists to visit the community.
With what's been happening with COVID, it's been great to see so many people travelling to our regional areas.
Christian Comenos, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Broken Hill City Council has successfully relocated funds from an $8.7 million grant for the CBD. The funds will be used to revitalise the district, part of the Building Better Regions Fund. It was originally going to be used for a new multi-million-dollar library. Mayor Tom Kennedy says they're going to take a more holistic approach with the CBD. The Pitchy Ritchie Railway Society will be hosting prospective volunteers for a ride this weekend. The Heritage Railway using its birthday celebration to encourage more people to join the club and help maintain various steam engines.
The Pitchy Ritchie Railway hosting an open day for the public this Sunday. The event giving the local community an opportunity to get hands-on and gain some insight into the preservation of steam trains.
Pitchy Ritchie is the heart of our tourism industry here. I think it's the heart of tourism in Australia, to be quite honest. It is so unique on the world stage.
The Pitchy Ritchie Railway Preservation Society also celebrating 20 years of operations. The group planning to celebrate with a cake and a special train ride from Port Augusta to Woolshed Flat.
A train ride halfway, and there'll be key people on board and able to talk to people that are interested in volunteering.
Winning the SA Tourism Award last year, the popular railway carries 10,000 passengers during the train running season from March to November. the increased workload prompting the society to look for more members to help out.
Volunteer group that loves tinkering with older stuff and adds to the tourism trail, of course.
To obtain a free ticket to the event, patrons are asked to contact the volunteering manager via Facebook, with people of all ages and capabilities welcome.
It's an exciting time, and I think that even for young people, tinkering with the old machinery is something quite special.
Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. A reminder to turn back your clocks this Sunday. And we'll have the weekend weather details with Alex Sykes. I'll see you with the details soon. Welcome back. With daylight savings coming to an end this weekend, you'll get an extra hour of sleep on Sunday. The South Australian community is reminded to turn back their clocks 1 hour this April 3rd. Residents in New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania and the ACT will be doing just the same. Each year, daylight savings begins on the first Sunday in October and ends on the first Sunday in April the following year. Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather as we finally reach the weekend. Here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, Ruby, and good evening to you and the rest of our viewers. It was a beautiful and mild autumn day across the region, and those conditions are set to continue throughout the rest of the weekend. From 3 p.m, Port Augusta was sunny and 25, Cleve was 20 degrees, and Cooper Pedy was a high of 26. Looking further out across the region now, Whyalla was sunny and 22, Port Lincoln was partly cloudy and also reached 22, Broken Hill was sunny and 23, Port Pirie, Adelaide and Woodner were all 24, Kadina sunny and 20, Clare reached 19 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, bright jet stream cloud pushing in from the west under a high pressure system is not rain bearing. Low cloud with onshore winds is bringing the odd shower to coastal areas, mostly clear under a dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southeasterly winds 15 to 20 knots, reaching 20 to 30 in the evening. Seas 1 to 2 metres, and south to southwesterly swells below 1 metre. Port Lincoln will be mostly sunny and 21 tomorrow. Similar conditions in Cleve with a high of 20 degrees there. Woodner will be sunny and reach 25. Whyalla is set to be 23. Port Augusta sunny and 25, and mostly sunny in Kadina with a high of 24 degrees there. Port Pirie will be mostly sunny and get to a max of 26. Clare and Broken Hill both are set to reach a high of 21 degrees. Taking a look further through the week now, mostly sunny in Port Augusta and Port Pirie on Sunday, both to reach 26 degrees. Woodner will be also sunny and 26, 25 degrees forecast in Whyalla and Kadina. Port Lincoln, Broken Hill and Adelaide will all get to 23. Cooper Pedy will be sunny and get to a high of 28. Till next week now, it'll be sunny in Whyalla on Monday with 27 degrees. Woodner and Cooper Pedy both to reach 31. Mostly sunny in Kadina with 26. Port Augusta will be sunny and reach 29. Port Lincoln will be partly cloudy and 25 degrees. Partly cloudy conditions expected on Tuesday. Port Augusta and Woodner 29. Cooper Pedy with a top of 33. Port Pirie and Broken Hill both to reach 28. Possible shower in Port Lincoln with a high of 25 degrees. Well, Ruby, I truly am sad that this is the last time we'll be doing the bulletin together. You've been a wonderful friend and colleague both on and off the screen. And from the team at Spencer Golf, we wish you all the best on your next adventure. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. It's back to you.
Thanks so much, Alex. That means a lot. And that's all local news this Friday evening and my last bulletin for Spencer Golf News. It's been a pleasure joining you on weeknights and working with a truly wonderful team of journalists who care so much about regional news. Thanks for your time. I'll see you with some updates a bit later, but enjoy your evening and have a wonderful weekend. Good night.